This is quarterback Javance Johnson. You're watching the show LA.
The show LA is officially back. We're juiced. Our first show since quarantine. I'm AP.
And I'm LP. As you can see, we're bringing you a socially distant version of the show LA. We want to stay COVID compliant here. So we've got some new segments for you guys. We're going to start off with the Bay to LA. We've got a new upper and lower classman watch list. And we've got a thumbing through the archive section.
So in our new segment with our upperclassman watch list, we're actually featuring somebody you've seen on the show before, Sierra Canyon defensive back, class of 2021, DJ Harvey. Recently pledged his commitment to Virginia Tech, and he's actually one of their highest rated cornerback recruits in the history of the program. For our lower classman watch list, we've got Javance Johnson from Notre Dame Sherman Oaks, transferred over from Alamany last year, but just picked up a San Jose State offer. Excited to have him on the show. For the Bay to LA, we've got Hassan, the Missile Mahasin, class of 2022. From Serra out of San Mateo, Tom Brady's alma mater, Serra San Mateo. So really excited to have him on. And then thumbing through the archives, we're going to be taking a look back at the class of 2020 and some of the most exciting players we had a chance to see last season, and let you know how excited we are to see those guys play in college football uniforms.
As always, we want to give a shout out to our sponsor, Zort Sports.
Zort Sports is an absolutely free tournament scheduling app. You can download it for Android or iPhone. Again, completely free, easy to use. You can schedule 7-on-7 tournaments, volleyball, pretty much any sport. But download the Zort Sports app now and follow Zorts_sports on Instagram. Welcome back to the show LA after a long hiatus due to COVID. We're back. I hope everybody out there is staying safe and healthy. And today we're introducing a brand new segment called the Upperclassman Watch List. And nobody better to be on. Coming back to the show LA, we've got Virginia Tech defensive back commit DJ Harvey from Sierra Canyon. Man, welcome back to the show.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Welcome back, DJ. I know it's been a while. I wanted to talk about your commitment. You had 4 schools on the table before you made the big decision: SC, Oregon, Cal, and Virginia Tech. What ultimately made you decide to go with the Hokies?
I think just the coach's atmosphere. Coach Fuente and the rest of the coaching staff brought me in open arms when they first offered me. And it was just like, just the fans in general, just the fans' atmosphere, and just talking to the older guys. They gave me some good intel about Virginia Tech. So.
Now, look, you didn't have a ton of offers, from the local schools, and especially, some of the Cali schools that you were probably dreaming of going to, right, when you were playing Pop Warner. And I was surprised when you were on the show LA last time that you didn't have a UCLA offer. I knew that SC hadn't pulled the trigger yet, but talk about what it was like with you continuously performing on the field during last season and earning those offers. What were the conversations like with USC and UCLA, and how did those offers come about?
I think you just always got to have a chip on your shoulder regardless what the situation is with the offers. So you can have 0, you can have 50. You always got to have a chip on your shoulder. So I think every college sees a kid differently. It don't matter if it's height, weight, speed. They all see a kid differently. So, all talks are different. With USC and UCLA, it was just like they wanted to see me in person. That's all they wanted to do. So when they saw me in person, it was like a different type of feel.
Were you getting anxious at all? Talk about that recruiting process. You probably saw some guys around you, maybe on your 7-on-7 teams, that were getting offers from those schools. Were you asking yourself that question, like, why, where's mine? When is mine coming?
Yeah, you always ask yourself that question, like just like all the time, like, when is my time gonna come? And I think when my time came, it was the right time. And when I hit that peak, I was just like, all right, I already know what schools I'm really looking at the most. So then I really was paying attention to those schools.
So DJ, you're gonna play both sides of the ball at Virginia Tech. Was that the case at the other 3 schools in your final group of contenders?
I mean, like, playing both ways is good, but like, if Virginia Tech just want to keep me on defense and return kicks, I'm not tripping at all. As long as I hit the field freshman year, I'm good.
So that's your goal. You do want to play as a true freshman.
Yeah, because I think playing as a true freshman, you get like some kids, they get scared or they're not comfortable in the system and they redshirt. Nothing's wrong with redshirting, but me, I feel like I have all the confidence in the world in my game, and that's why I do all this training and travel all over, places to go where I want to go. So if I feel like I can come in there and make a statement, that's what I'm gonna do.
How have they opened up their arms to you, whether it's the coaching staff at Virginia Tech, the players past and present, or the fan base? What are those interactions like?
The crazy thing about Virginia Tech is all the coaching staff went to Virginia Tech. So it's like they give you inside and out. Being in a conversation, and I'm not even there yet. They want to compare me to Dante Hall, Kyle Fuller. That's like huge. That's huge on anybody's name that's like coming from not even from where they're from. So me being from Cali, I'm like, okay, now I have more expectations than I usually thought I had going into my freshman year. So it's just all about meeting the expectations or surpassing them.
Now, potentially enrolling early or not, Lindsay, I know you had a question about that.
Yeah, I mean, before we go there, I know we're like so excited that you're going to Virginia Tech, but you're not done with your high school journey. But COVID obviously has thrown everything all over the place. Now that the CIF has pushed the season back, just talk us through what's going on in your head about early enrollment. Are you going to stay and play your senior year?
I think like as a high school kid, we all said, all of us from California that committed already, we all set our plans. Like if COVID didn't have, we all set our plans to commit like late. So then when it was late and then we wanted to leave early, that was cool. But now we actually have the chances to leave early, just like with no questions. It's not, to me, it's not bad at all, me staying in high school. I mean, I have all my best friends still in high school. If I play, I probably will play like 3-4 games, not trying to like wear my body down because ACC is full of intense contact. SEC and ACC are more contact. So I'm gonna have to be in the box a lot, probably running a lot. So it's just how you treat your body throughout the time. So.
And just as a high school student for you, what was the initial shock of hearing that the season's getting pushed back to December, January? I mean, that's gotta kind of rock your world a little bit.
Yeah, it was tough. I mean, like usually, like what is it, August like 30th? It would have been we would have been past our second game already. Like that's crazy. We would have been already past our second game going into our third, but. Just hearing it does hurt because it's just like you see these other states like Texas, Utah, and they're playing on time. So you're thinking like, wow, like you want to be like playing like right now at this moment. So it's just, as a high school player, it's hard, but you just gotta learn how to just deal with it.
On that same note, what were your guys' plans? You still obviously have plans for what this season's gonna look like, but the Sierra Canyon High School football team going into this year, what expectations had you guys set for yourselves? I know, Chaden Perry committed to Georgia Tech recently, your quarterback. What's the Sierra Canyon outlook on this upcoming season?
We just do what we do best and win. That's just our motto. Like, the fact that we went CIF back-to-back and nobody thought we was going to go to state back-to-back. Everybody thought we was going to lose the Helix and the regionals. Everybody thought we was going to lose the Upland. It's always something that's blocking us. So I think all we know how to do is just win and just do what we do best. And I think the athletes that we have on the field is just great.
Man, well, we appreciate having you on the show, LA. It's your second time. I'm sure it won't be your last time because we're going to have to catch up with you during the season. But yeah, man, we appreciate you. Congrats on your commitment. And hopefully, this year things start shaping up and you're able to enjoy, your last year of high school because, it's not a year that you're ever going to get back, right? So just wishing you the best for this season, man. And thank you so much again for coming on the show, LA.
Anytime, man. Anytime. DJ Harvey, class of 2021 from Sierra Canyon, Virginia Tech commit. You're watching the show, LA.
For this next segment, it's completely COVID compliant. Everybody knows that there's no football in the CIF this year. So in being COVID compliant, we've got a new segment called Thumbin Through the Archives. And first up, we're going to talk about the class of 2020 who just graduated last year, is headed off to college, because there are some exciting players to watch from California, SoCal in particular. But Lindsay, I'm going to drop it to you. Who's one of those players that you can't wait to see on a college football field next year?
I don't think that you can put this list together without mentioning a million times Bryce Young of modern day. Obviously, he led his team to a really good spot last year, CIF Southern Section title game. Unfortunately, lost to Bosco, but one of his most memorable games, at least for me, was the first time that they played Bosco. Modern day beat St. John Bosco 38-24, and Bryce Young was absolutely killer in this game. 253 touchdowns, 256 yards. He was just a beast. His number one target was Cody Epps. 11 catches, 175 yards for him, 3 touchdowns. They were just in sync that game. This is a guy that I'm really looking forward to watching compete for a quarterback spot at Alabama.
And on that same token, we're talking quarterbacks. DJ Uiagalelei from Bosco, I mean, the modern day rival. Bryce got him in the first game, and DJ and Bosco really stepped it up in that CIF Southern Section Championship game. They came back from 28-3, which is insane. But for a quarterback to pull his team, out of that kind of deficit and still win is crazy. Everybody knows DJ's at Clemson and he's under Trevor Lawrence. ACC's playing football this year, so.
Yeah. SEC and ACC, they're still a go.
So, yeah, exactly. It's still, I guess, everything's up in the air with COVID, but I'm really looking forward to watching DJ play. Another quick shout out, also looking forward to watching Chris Hudson, Oregon signee, play next year. Another Bosco player, Drake Metcalf, he's going off to Stanford. Can't wait to see that big man on the field. He's such a leader.
With both of those guys, we're likely going to have to wait till spring. Pac-12 and Big Ten are in the same boat right now of holding off on the fall football season. So I guess let the anticipation build on those guys.
And speaking of thumbing through the archives, one of those players who made play after play and, once in a generation type of talent. I know you got to see him play a couple of games. I got to see him play several games, but Justin Flo had one of the craziest tackles that I've ever seen. But aside from that, he's just got such a high motor.
You already know what time it is, man. I'm he. I am he. I am he. You already know.
He never stops. He plays through the whistle. Really exciting to watch. What was your favorite Justin Flo moment from last season?
So I actually got to see him play against Mission Viejo, and Upland lost that game. But I just remember that Justin had such a high intensity, and he actually broke his helmet in that game. And that was just something I've never seen happen in a high school football game. So
bloody face.
Yeah, I think that's like on brand, just very intense. He's a really tough football player.
And if you look at the top players in California last year, it kind of goes in order. 24/7 had Bryce, followed by DJ, followed by Justin Flo, and then fourth on that list is somebody we got to see play a lot last year, CJ Stroud. I'm really looking forward to watching CJ Stroud play at Ohio State. I think he has a very high ceiling. He came on the radar kind of late and was a late addition to the Elite 11. A lot of people didn't really know who he was. He ended up winning the Elite 11 and was throwing rockets. We had some great highlights. We went out to the Star in Frisco, Texas, and covered that. But this guy, former basketball player, he's just an athlete. The ball comes out of his hand kind of effortlessly. And I'm looking forward to seeing him be molded under Justin Fields' wings and come into his own at Ohio State. I think CJ Stroud is going to be somebody who surprises a lot of people at the next level.
All of these guys all around very talented. We'll see when they actually play this coming year. But yeah, excited to see all of them hit the field.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is our first ever installment of a new segment on the show LA called The Bay to LA, where we're bringing you the best and the brightest stars from the Bay and featuring them on the show LA, man. It's time to get the Bay some love. And first up, we got our guy from Serra, San Mateo. We got Hassan, the Missile Mahasin. What's up, man? How'd you get the nickname the Missile, man, just first and foremost?
When I was playing Pop Warner when I was like 5 or 6, my coach gave me the nickname because I was like the fastest on the team. So they started calling me the Missile.
So has it held true? Have you been the fastest on every team since then?
Yeah.
Hey, man, welcome Hassan, man. Just go ahead and introduce yourself. You know, what class are you? What positions do you primarily play? And just talk a little bit about yourself.
Hassan Mahasin, class of 2022, Serra High School, San Mateo, California. I play receiver, running back, and DB.
Now, you've obviously got some recruiting. Your recruiting has gotten started. You've gotten some offers. You have a lot of schools looking at you. But, you know, you're in particular, you know, you're a Bay Area athlete, and that's why we're featuring you guys on the show. The Bay, for whatever reason, even though the Bay produces a lot of athletes, the recruiters are still kind of sleeping on you guys. You know, what's different about playing in the Bay, you think, compared to other areas in California, in particular Southern California?
We got even teams out here. There's no stacked teams out here. We got talent, but it's all spread out across the whole North Cal area and stuff. So yeah, that's the biggest thing.
Now,
we have to
go ahead.
We have to really promote ourselves to get out there to get all these offers. We don't have like that exposure like how Southern California has. So, you know, we really got to push ourselves out there and promote ourselves.
Now, what have you been doing during COVID? You know, because everybody, you know, you have to maintain your training regimen, right? Describe a typical week for the Missile, man. What's your week look like, Monday through Sunday?
Man, Monday, lift. Tuesday, go throw my quarterback. We get our chemistry going for the season. Wednesday, I lift. Thursday is usually a day off. Friday, I lift. Saturday, I go do one-on-ones and drills and stuff with my 7-on-7 team, KT Prep. And then after that, right after that KT Prep workout, then I go train with one of my trainers, Ryan Tink, at RNA Sports. We get in my biomechanics right, mobility, flexibility, all that extra stuff that you need to play on the football field. Then Sunday, I go run hills, run routes, one-on-ones, drills. It's basically Sunday is like my work day. Like I really do everything that day. So yeah, that's the basic week.
What would you say to some of those college recruiters, man, who are sleeping on the Bay? You know, what do they need to do, man, to get you to, you know, not only help their rosters out, man, but to spread the love a little bit?
I mean, they come out here and watch some games, but we got talent out here. You see, we got the best running back in college football, Najee Harris, best safety in college football, Javon Holland at Oregon. You know, we produced one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL history, Tom Brady. We have Marshawn Lynch, Joe Mixon, Marcus Peters, James Jones, and that's just to name a few. That's our elite players.
Tom Brady, he's an alum from Serra High School,
Yeah.
Serra San Mateo. You know, I spoke to you before. You said that they don't really make it public out there, but you know, what has Tom Brady done for the Serra program? Because you know, you guys were talking to me about some stuff that they've done, and you know how his dad's involved. Explain what's going on there.
So I mean, they never really tell us what Tom Brady does. He probably does stuff behind closed doors. But you know, we got a brand new football field like 3 years ago. We just got a brand new weight room last year. So, you know, I'm pretty sure he does stuff behind closed doors, but they don't really tell us who's doing that for us.
And just something to leave us with, what are some of your guys' goals this year for Serra San Mateo as a team, and then some of your individual goals going into your junior season?
So we trying to make it back to state championship because we lost last year by 1 touchdown to Corona Del Mar. Yeah, so last year we went 13-2, made it a state, lost to Corona Del Mar. And this year, we trying to go back to state and win it. You know, my personal goal, I'm gonna be playing more receiver, so I'm hoping to catch some touchdown passes this year personally.
Now, really quick, leave us with this: who's on your official offer list right now, And then what other schools do you think are close to pulling the trigger?
Okay, so I got so my official offers right now is Arizona State, Colorado, Utah State, San Jose State, and Florida Atlantic. Teams that are close to offering me, Cal, Washington State, Northwestern, Wyoming, Nevada. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Your dream school, if you had to pick one.
Well, my dream school when I was a kid was Oregon. You can see that right there. Got the Oregon jersey. Okay. Yeah, that's always been my dream school since I was a kid.
All right, well, the missile, Hassan Mahasin, man, hopefully you've got an Oregon offer, on the horizon, but looking forward to watching your journey. And who's up next, man? I'm going to let you suggest the next person for the Bay to LA segment. So who are we putting on next from the Bay?
Next up from the Bay to LA is Lou Hearns, De La Salle High School.
All right, well, you heard it from the missile. It was good catching up with you, man. Next week, Lou Hearns from De La Salle, Cal commit, is going to be on. But we look forward to showing the Bay more love, man. And again, look forward to seeing you guys play soon. Thanks a lot.
Thank you for having me.
Serra, go. What's good? My name is Javance Johnson. I'm quarterback, class of 2023. I go to Notre Dame High School. Go. In 5th grade, I moved to SoCal from the Bay Area for my dad mostly. And then they started focusing on me because I started coming up in football, and my sister because she plays basketball. The hardest part of the transition from the Bay to SoCal was probably leaving all my family from both sides of like my mom and my dad. It's really only our family out here, so we have nobody to like hang out with or anything. But yeah, that was the hardest. This year I transferred from Alameda to Notre Dame. My freshman year at Alameda, it was pretty good. I had a lot of good friends, made a lot of relationships, a lot of new people. Overall, it was good. My expectations for this year, Notre Dame, we're gonna be good this year. Have a lot of secret talents that nobody knows about, but we're just gonna keep working and come out. Recently, I got my first offer from San Jose State. It was a good talk with Coach Gundy. We were relating a lot of things because I'm from the Bay, and it was good that I got an offer from there. All my family and stuff was happy, so the conversation was cool. I liked his vibe. It was very nice. It was comfortable. It wasn't like awkward or anything. I was feeling a little nervous on the call, and I was happy at the same time. My parents were recording me. The first person I called, or the first people I called, were my grandparents because they helped me through everything, give me whatever I need to succeed. The next couple schools I've been talking to, like Cal, Utah, and Arizona State. Arizona State is really close to pulling the trigger, so hopefully I could get them. This is Javance Johnson. Stay tuned for more of the Show LA.
All right, everybody, that's a wrap for the Show LA, our first show back since quarantine. Hope you enjoyed it, and stay tuned for next week.
Yeah, we got a lot more in store, and if you want a sneak peek at who our next guest will be, make sure to follow the Show LA on Instagram, and I'll see you guys next week.
Deuces.